It's about having good experiences, having a good network, be more positive in your positives. So when you see that you have a power in something, empower it.
Hi, Marcy folks. This is Elina. Today I have a very, very special guest for this interview. This is Sandra Trattnigg. She is an Austrian youth dramatic soprano. She started her international career at the Zurich Opera House, and she has since worked with renowned conductors such as Nicolas Arnoncourt, Zubin Mehta, Adam Fischer, Franz Welser-Möst, Fabio Luisi, Bernard Haitink. Sandra can be heard on several recordings and films released by Deutsche Grammophon, EMI and Sony Classics, and she is the founder of innovating training programs such as DieMasterclass and BeProfessional. She is also a professor at the Kaleidos Music University in Zurich. Hi, Sandra, and welcome.
Hi,
Thank you
Elina.
so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll talk about a lot of things that are really useful for young professionals, performing artists, singers who are emerging and entering professional world, and how to manage all this business while you are an artist. Sandra, what do you have as do's and don'ts, as your personal recommendations, general recommendations for a smooth start for a performer and particularly for a singer?
I think the first thing you need to have is, besides the technique, of course, is to have a plan or a vision of what you want to achieve. Because I think that it's not that important to have the goals. I think it's more important to have the vision of what you want to achieve. And when you know your strengths and you have the right people around you on which you can rely, I think then this is the base for having a start. So I think you need to know yourself very well, and then you need to know who are the persons you can trust, because it's a world, it's not often that trustable, or you hear many opinions, and I think this is very complicated when you're young. You hear so many opinions, and I think you should choose one or two persons in your life who you trust, and then go with them and make your way, start your way like this. I think nowadays the best thing is that you improvise a bit and try to be your own boss, try to make your own profile, and not the profile what you think that people might want to see. You need to create a profile in which you feel comfortable, and how you really are, and how you want to be as an artist. Because also an agency, what do? They do sell some people products, I want to say. It's not negative, yes. They're selling some products. So if you know what your best things to do are, what you want to sing, what you want to say, I think first you should shape this. And you should know yourself very well, what you want to do and who you want to be, and who you want to and what you want to see other people's to see in yourself, and not to go in a mainstream, or you think, I need these beautiful pictures and everyone does these pictures. Just do the pictures how you see yourself, I would say. Yes, I think this is to be authentic is one of the most important things to start a career.
Study
in
yourself.
my in my opinion.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a great advice. Do you think there is an age for singers? Probably it's very individual, but is there a guideline between when it's still too young to start a professional career and when it's a good time? Because the voice needs its time to shape up. And what are the stages of the voice formation and how to actually determine when you are ready to be a
No,
full-time singer?
there is no receipt, because it depends on how mature you are as a person. I think also the voice, but this is some technical thing you have to listen to. Can I stand this? Can I do that? Okay, but this has also no age. I think the most important thing is the mental thing. Can you can you handle this job? I mean, are you mature enough to experience a character? Yeah, can you feel a character who is not you? Can you do what the regisseur says without complaining? Or it's like a thing of being an adult, and some teenagers even are more adult than the 30-year-old singer, I would say.
That's true.
The one thing is the la la la, yeah, the inside, the learning and everything. But I think if your teacher tells you you wouldn't hurt yourself, you're ready that you wouldn't hurt yourself. This is the most important thing. You need to be sure that you wouldn't hurt your voice. Then go for it. I think there is no age.
Great. So listen to your teacher. Find a good teacher. Listen to your teacher. That's the way to go.
Like always, yeah. I think if you have if you feel that you have a good opposite, that you can open yourself, because I think you only can learn your body voice if you can open up yourself. If you have an opposite, maybe you believe how the technique goes and everything, but this is one part. The other part is to evolve your body voice, your own voice, not what you hear. You hear so much, you hear your colleagues, you hear everyone singing or saying you should sound like that. First of all, you need to really find your body voice, your own voice. How deep is it going? How high is it going? How do I sound like myself in a free way? Um, I think when you found this, you get more and more comfortable in your singing, and do not want to sound like you hear somebody or hear a recording or something, because because if you're a musician, one of the things is that you're musically okay, and mostly when you have a musical ear, you really, if you listen to things, you can easily copy. I mean, you can copy phrases, you can copy sounds, you can copy even dialects or something. This is something we need to have. So this happens with singers a lot, and then they do copy, because they're musically, they do copy these sounds. And I would really recommend to first find your own body language, body voice, and then try to listen to recordings, only that you understand how the music goes or how an orchestra is sounding, but go with your score and find your own body voice. I think this is the first step of confidence also for a singer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very, very important to, again, study yourself. Going back to the first question.
Yeah.
That's the integral part. Could we please talk about the roles, particularly in opera, and how can one approach choosing a role properly? Because there are so many stories of, damaged voices and broken careers, unfortunately, because of the roles that were not chosen in the right way. And how do you know when it's good? Does it feel good, or you don't know when you didn't start yet? Do you have any opinion on this? Any advice?
Yeah, I think you always should try first. When you get a call or an answer for a role, you should always beg for at least a week or some more time to try it first. I have never said yes to anything before I haven't looked in the score or haven't tried it. I never do this. I have a bibliothèque at home, so most of my repertoire is in it. Or today you can look in the internet for the
Download.
scores. Easier. And you have to have a look. And I think if you call yourself a singer, you have a certain feeling about pieces. If they fit you or not, I think you're getting this feeling by the time. If you're very young, you should really ask somebody, or you should try, because when you're trying, or even when you're listening to a voice which is similar to yours, maybe as a youth dramatic soprano, you shouldn't listen to a light voice or something. You should listen, if you listen, you should listen to a voice which is very similar to yours. And then with listening, your vocal cords, they are doing their work. And then I think they are, your body works, and it tries to figure out itself if it fits you or not. I think this is the first thing. But I would recommend never take a role before trying or before looking at the score if you're very experienced.
Yeah, great advice.
Again, ask your teacher.
Yes, yes. It's very important to find a good teacher, but again, unfortunately, not everyone is blessed with teachers, and a lot of people are searching, a lot of people are in transition. So yeah, it's very important to find a teacher you trust, and a teacher who makes you feel better.
Yes.
When you are working and not feeling worse about yourself. Yes.
I mean, if you're a young singer, then you think you have all the time. And that's not true, because this is the time to really be sure to get all your devices you need for the job. And I have the experience that some singers, they are on stage, they are begging for help while their career. So what are you saying then? Stop it because you need to recover or you need to relearn some things. This is more difficult when you have your contracts to say, so now stop, and we need to take some months, we need to take our time to recover the voice or learn something new. It's more difficult, so you really have time before to be sure that everything works in there. And if you have the feeling that you don't sing with your own body quality, with your own body voice, then maybe you need to change quickly your teacher. I think,
and your repertoire, perhaps.
yeah, I think as a student, you have to feel who is right or who is not right to you. Like the friends, you're all. I mean, how do you choose your friends? Yes. If you're feeling that your friends are not good for you, or toxic, maybe you should change your friends. And this is there you have maybe you have more to choose than in singing teachers. But yes, be very careful who is your opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you talk a little bit about your program, BeProfessional? Could you
Yes.
tell everyone a little more about what you are doing? Sandra is an educator who's trying to represent the teaching methods, and not even methods, but the atmosphere from a new angle. And yeah, please tell us about this yourself.
I have invented something which is called DieMasterclass Zurich. First, I started with giving master classes because I didn't have so much time to teach because of my own singing. And this evolved into a program called BeProfessional. And BeProfessional means that you're in this program after you studied. You have your bachelor or your master even in singing, but you don't have the right skills for the job and to go on stage, and you don't have a mindset, and you don't have the right technique, and you don't. So this is really a boot camp for 1 to 2 years, where you get all these skills which are missing in your education. I also teach other professionals, or even starters. They want to become professionals, but in this teaching you don't have many rules. But in this program you only have rules, because I have built this study out of my experiences of my job and how I was treated, or how I was experienced my singing or my working life. So there are many rules, and the first rule is you're in or you're out. So when you're in, you have to really do everything what I recommend, and also what is important, that you do this to a specific date. So you don't have to time to always think, yeah, I do this later or I do this later. So this is the first rule: you're in or you're out. And then we are doing a lot of training programs. It's very holistic, I would say. I try to educate every part that I think is important to really be a singer or become a singer. Yes. And I would really recommend, if you want to be a singer nowadays, just do it if you really want to be this, because there are a lot of things you have to work on. You really I think you need to work a bit harder than before, maybe, and and you have to be more creative, and your education as a singer never ends. So, and education, we know how much we earn as artists. We all know this, that it's not. If you have a career, okay, then you can live from it. But if you don't have a career from the beginning, you need to help yourself. So education has to be affordable. This is one thing that is very important for me too.
Amen.
Education has to be affordable. We have found foundations. They are supporting our program. This was also a process, but now I can say that I am paid for this program, for my ideas. I had to work 1 year on these ideas, and now I'm really paid for it. And not only the singing lessons, but you do so much more than giving lessons. Yes. And also the students, they are getting support. So this is really fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yes, this is really fantastic. And in that program, I also tried to find other supporters. And so I founded a non-profit organization which helps singers in education. So this is what we did so far.
Brilliant.
And this is really great. And of course, we have a lot of tools in this BeProfessional, which is too much to talk about now, everything. But I think for the people, it's very interesting. The latest thing what I put into the education is resilience training, because when you're a sportsman or when you're a professional in sports, you always have this. Yeah, you working with your mental trainer and you're working with your physical trainer, and I think this is missing a lot in our field. So I started. Yeah, I started now with the resilience training, and I will see how where this leads us. But I think for the right mindset, this is the best thing we can work on now at the moment. Yeah.
Wow, this is such a great program. This is
It's a
such a
program.
great
I
program.
mean, basically, it's me. We say it's a school, but basically it's me.
Yeah.
And also, no, I'm working with a lot of great people. For example, now we have also a program for accompanists. This is new. My great colleague Enrico Maria Cacciari from Opera Zurich. He's an Italian accompanist, co-repetitor, and we are now we are talking about a study for accompanists. Yes, and we will also put this in our program. So then we have singers and we have accompanists, and this is a great network because the young accompanists, they need to learn the repertoire, and we like to have piano when we are working, and so this is the best. And also my singers can build up their networks because they're coming very good pianists, so we can work on that together. Yes.
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is the latest plan, and now I'm building a new homepage, so we will put on everything. We're making a film about it now, and also the filming and the technical thing, it went very viral in our education because for everything für Bewerbungen, if you want to apply somewhere, or also for Wettbewerbe,
Competitions. Yeah.
we have to do all these videos. So we started really to build up our own studio
That's
to do that.
excellent.
Yes. Because I said no to to the fact that everybody is filming from their living rooms, and they're putting all their musical greatness in the internet, and everybody can watch without paying. I said no to that because it's our job. It's not only our hobby. It should be our job, and we should get paid for that in the end.
Yes.
And I don't think that we are off the market only if we are not showing our singing every day in the internet. I don't feel this. I am more serious about arts than this.
Totally. Wow. You mentioned competitions. Do you support the idea of competitions? Do you think they're necessary, or you think it's a choice? Can one build a career in singing, for example, without competitions?
It's a choice, yes. I made my career without competitions. I know some colleagues, they were starting their career with competitions. I think the competition to be a part of a competition is not only to win a competition, but to show yourself and to train to sing in front of people, or under pressure, I would say. I would see it more as the importance of the training than the winning or achieving something. Even you meet great people there. You have a jury. You can ask the members of the jury questions. You can go there. You can build a network. You can. I think for this, the competitions are more important than you think you have to win. But if you don't have the feeling you could win, you shouldn't go there either.
That's the most important point.
Yes, that is, because if you go there and think, yeah, I go there, I don't know, I have no chance, then don't go there. Because this only gives you bad feelings or bad experiences, and you always think you're not good enough. I think you should only go there if you think of yourself you could win it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, that's not the point. The point is that you are that good prepared that you think you could win it. Yes.
Yeah.
This is
mindset.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Probably one of the most complicated questions for singers, not only how to find the right teacher, but how to find the right coach, because there are many coaches, so many that one can have. Maybe, when one has one teacher and one can go to a lot of coaches, but is it necessary, or one has to find one coach to stick with? What's your view on this?
I only can say that my experience was that I had a very, very good singing teacher. I worked with Professor Lazarska. She's a Polish singing teacher, and I was very lucky to work with her. Also before, I was lucky to work with very good teachers like Renate Behle. and Crystal Borjas. They were my first experiences, and this was a great base to have them. But then I figured out in university that I need a coach also. So when because they're hearing other things or they're working on other things, and I think it completes the technique very well. It's always better to rely on one person. You see how far you can go, how you can achieve your sound, your goals, and then if you feel that it's not going on, then change and not go too many. Because to focus on yourself and find out how is your body, voice, language again, this only needs one person, one input. Yes. And if you think, yeah, that's not enough for now, then change. Try to find another one. But how do you find somebody? The best thing is that you listen to singers in your surrounding. So maybe when you live in Vienna, what singers you like in Vienna, or they're studying or something, and then ask them, where are you going? Because mostly this what you hear is maybe this how you want to sound also, and then I'll just ask, yeah, and not try. It's like a dentist. You wouldn't go to a dentist if you ask somebody before, do you have a good dentist? So I think this works also with recommendations. But if you don't know anybody or not enough people, then go and listen to the singers, because this what you hear is maybe how you want to sound like, or how you want to sing like.
Wow, excellent advice. And do
Yes.
you think that the programs that are run by coaches are different from the programs run by singing teachers, and whether a coach can drastically change a singer's technique?
I think you shouldn't work only with one coach. Only if you know your technique very well. If you're very advanced, I would say, then a coach is enough. But because mostly they are telling you what they hear, and not how you can exactly change it. So what they hear is, most for an experienced singer, it's what they hear enough that you know yourself how to change it, because you need the outside to know what's going on inside, because as a singer you don't hear
You
yourself.
can't hear yourself, yeah.
Yes. So this is what you need. You need the ears, and if you're experienced, the ears, then they tell you what they hear, and then you can change the sound, and they say yes or no. So this is how it works. But if you don't know how to change yourself, then you should minimum work with two people, a coach and a singing teacher.
Yeah, another question is more on the business side rather than the technique. It's about the agents, theaters. Can one manage one's own career, or does one really need an agent? Can one approach theaters on one's own? What's your intake on this, and whether we're drifting away from agents nowadays?
I don't know if we're drifting away from them, but it's like you cannot fly at the moment because they are not allowed to fly.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I think when we are back in our normal system, maybe there will be less agents because they cannot live anymore from what they're doing. So they have to also rethink what they're doing. I think they will still be important in one point, because I mean, I think it's the same for not only for singers but for all the musicians. When you build your own like company with yourself, who you are, what you want to be, what is your visions, what you want to be as an artist. If you know this very well, you're like not negative, a positive product. So I think it's not good that we sell ourselves as products, and it's very difficult for our feelings. I don't like to sell myself or to say about myself, look, take me, I'm so good. And this is not, it's not easy. I think for this little thing, and maybe to make contracts or something, what they're doing, it's good to have somebody, but maybe it would be in another way. The because they, for my, in my opinion, they got too much power.
Mm-hmm.
So mm, in the big opera houses or in the important opera houses, yeah, it's there is a lot of strange things going on. What's about power and how people are treated. I think it was time that this area ends. I hope this ends now, because it's not. It wasn't that funny to work in some opera houses anymore. And has to do with the positions the people are in. They feel too much empowered because of their positions. And this is not only a problem in music or in things. So if you are in a powerful position, then you think you have the power to decide everything, more than to listen what is really needed, or what do the people need, or do I still treat people like people? When you want to build a personal brand, I think at the moment this is the best idea, because then you're in this brand, you show who you really are, and the people don't need to find out themselves, because you're already showing this. Yes. And I think this is what changes, that not the agencies do this for you. They say how you need to be to fit in somewhere. You have to build your own brand, and then they can do something with it. And
Mm-hmm.
this is what changed with agencies, I think.
Okay.
And yes, but if they worked in a way, or if they only want to work in the way like they used to, I think they will not exist anymore,
Mm-hmm.
because it's interesting and it's not possible anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it will return, but hopefully it will return in another way.
Let's hope for the best. That after these strange times, we will be living in a better world.
Yeah, we will see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandra, your main advice to emerging artists?
My professor once said, or she always said, when people were coming to her and wanted to work with her, and they always said, "Oh, can you give me some tips?" She always said, "I don't give tips." She was always saying, "I don't give tips." Because if you want to work with me, you have to do kitchen. Yeah, you have to be
Mhm.
aware that we're cooking and this takes time.
Well
So
said.
um, this is also an advice I would give.
Yeah.
Take your time, yeah, for yeah, to grow. So don't be in a hurry because you think you have to be in a hurry, or somebody makes you hurry up. Because it's not to build a career is not about giving tips. It's about having good experiences, having a good network, be more positive in your positives. So when you see that you have a power in something, empower it, and not only concentrate on your things what you think you cannot do. It's more important to empower the things in which you're already good, or you are good, or think you are good. Watch out who is your vis-a-vis. Yes, now we have to choose wisely, because we cannot see so many people, but choose wisely who is your vis-a-vis, who is your opposite. I think this is a very important advice. Build your network, do improvisation. Don't think there is one way you can learn things. You can learn many things when you're improvising. Don't think you have to build yourself like a rock. It's more important that you know how to be the water around this rock, because you're coming and going and changing. And yes, you have to be resilient. You have to learn how to be resilient. You can train this. You can train this in a very young age. You can train this when you're older. You can always find another way to look at yourself, at the world. Step out of yourself. Look yourself from other sides. Yes, these are a lot of advices. I have many, many, many.
Oh, but this is so precious. That's why we are here.
Yes, yes. Then what else? Yes, I think for shaping your own futures, work on your visions. Know what your visions are. Don't think you have to achieve goals. If you have visions, then you will take a step and the next step and the next step and the next step, and then voila, your vision is accomplished. Don't think you have to run somewhere to achieve this and that. Just go for your visions, how you want to live, who you want to be, how you want to sound. And yeah, and who else needs to tell you who you need, who you want, who you need to be, or how you need to sound? I mean, the sound comes from in yourself. So just work on that. Yes, I would say.
Wow, it gave me chills. Sandra. Oh my. Wow, this was really strong
And
and
so
inspiring.
we are very, if you're, I mean, I would say half the musicians are introverted and half the musicians are extroverted. I would say I'm very introverted, even if I am very extroverted on stage. But I'm not used to rely on others, because I make everything with myself, I think. And if you're in, it's a very good tip, I think, to give a tip for people who are introverted. Choose one or two people and rely on them, and ask for help, or ask for a network, or ask for support. It's not, you don't have to do everything yourself. Even in the society, we rely on other people because we have people, they are doing a lot for us. So maybe you imagine this, if why not rely on other people in your work life also, even if you're a soloist, or yes, or a singer or a soloist pianist. Yeah, you always it's always nice to be connected, or to rely on people you trust. I think this is a very good recommendation, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sandra, for being here with me today and sharing your visions, your experiences, your views. I'm sure it will be inspiring for a lot of young artists out there. Thank you so much, our dear audience. Please subscribe to this channel if you're interested in hearing more empowering interviews, and stay tuned for my videos in piano artistic research and artistic organization. Have an amazing, amazing week, and all the best. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye bye.